A little about myself. I'm Director of Athletics at Diamond Regional. I just started that job this year. Was the coach at Massasoit Community College. Before that, I owned Proway Baseball for the last 16, 17 years, which is an indoor baseball training facility. Then we put a bunch of kids into a bunch of colleges from Division I, Pro Ball, all the way down to Division III JUCOs. And I work with those kids, some of them here today. I've been a high school coach for 25 years. Worked with a lot of players, obviously, through that, getting them into schools. College coach for the last 15 years. Coached at Curry, Babson, Newberry, coached at the Cape Cod League. So I have a lot of experience working with those types of kids, high-end kids, and JUCOs, all that stuff. Right now, I'm currently the commissioner of the Hamptons Collegiate League, which is like the Cape Cod League, Division I League in the Hamptons, New York. And I get to spend 2 great months in the summer there free, and they pay me, so that's a good gig. I was a scout for the Cincinnati Reds for 21 years. That's the easy part, because you don't have to be smart to play there. You just have to be good. So recruiting for that is real simple. A little more difficult as you go to colleges. And more importantly, I've been a parent for, I should have updated that, maybe about 40 years. And that's the hard part. I worked with my own kid, my own daughter, to get her into school and going through the process, because I knew it. My wife did it, made it a lot easier. And that's when I decided maybe I should start passing on that knowledge to people to help them navigate this whole maze. I'm not going to lie to you. This whole process is going to be mind-numbing. It's not easy. But you're looking at, and the kids here don't realize this, you're looking at a big, huge financial investment. And if you don't do your homework, it might as well just throw it out the window. Because if your kid goes to school, that you have to pay. When my daughter went to Brandeis, it was $65,000, and that was 6 years ago. Now Brandeis is 82. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Is there anybody here that just has that like in their bank account that you can just go, here you go, pay your tuition this year? I know it wasn't me. So if I can help anybody navigate through this maze and help you understand what it takes, that's going to be huge. That's going to save you money, save you a lot of headaches. I'm not going to lie to you though, you got to do your homework. Okay, you got to do your homework. So feel free to ask questions and we'll go from there. Okay, pretty much going to help you work your way through this. How it all works, what we will need to do, and can you do this? Pretty much anybody can do this if you have a computer and have a little free time that you can actually go and get involved with your son or daughter's education and see firsthand what goes on, okay? See firsthand what goes on. The first step with any sport, and this is the biggest one, is the 5 steps of honesty with yourself. Every athlete that I work with, always, where do you want to play? I want to play at Clemson. I want to play at Notre Dame. That's not happening. And that's a lot of times a shell shock. Because they're playing AAU basketball, or they're playing junior hockey, or they're playing AAU baseball, and you've got all fancy uniforms and you're paying $3,000 a year to play AAU, and they're promising you the world. Trust me, if you're a Division I player for those big schools, you're already on their radar. So the hardest part is being honest with yourself and have parents that support that. That's probably the hardest thing, because let's be honest, growing up, I wanted to be a pro baseball player. Well, I didn't realize that wasn't going to happen until I got out of college, and it's over. It ain't happening. Okay, but you get the dream. And sometimes it's, if you're a basketball player, you want to play. You know, if you're a women's basketball player, you want to play at UConn. That's the goal, right? Oh, yeah. Well, they're taking 15 kids, the best kids in the country. Okay, so you really got to make an impact. But being honest with yourself is really the hardest part. And go and see. There is not much level from Division I to Division III, even JUCO. Go watch a game in your sport. Okay, you can go watch UMass Dartmouth right over here play basketball. They're unbelievable. Every guy slam dunking, it's incredible. Okay, go watch hockey, go watch a baseball game, softball game. College sports are very, very good. The only difference from first to third divisions is depth. And I'll use baseball because I'm very familiar with that. Baseball, you get Division I, you're going to get all 5 starters throwing mid-90s. You go right over here to a JUCO, Massasoit, they've got 2 guys right now, 490. So how's that happen? It's just a JUCO. So you're going to make it fit. Make it fit. And that's the hardest part, is being honest with yourself. If you're going to play Division I, you've probably already been contacted or have a good idea and things are happening for you. But there is no embarrassment to play Division II and III. Division I offers scholarships. Okay, and that's what everybody goes at. That's the golden ring. Problem is, all Division I's do not have a lot of money for scholarships. They take those scholarships and cut them up. So instead of getting, like I think baseball gets 9 Division I scholarships, but they'll cut them up and make them into 18, and you'll get a half scholarship. That means you got to pay the other half. Okay? And that scholarship only covers the education, doesn't cover the housing. Division II has scholarships. They don't have as many. Stonehill's in Division II. They have maybe 5 scholarships. They cut them in quarters to get more kids in and help out. I know for a fact URI, for baseball, they get their scholarships. They do not offer scholarships to anybody in Rhode Island. They only use their scholarship for out-of-staters. They feel if you're in Rhode Island, you want to play for URI so you can afford it. You're a state school, you can afford it. So they're not going to use that scholarship money. So understand, there's no money tree. The scholarships are no athletic scholarships in Division III. Okay, none. So if somebody tells you, UMass Dartmouth, you're going in for an athletic scholarship, there's nothing. If you go to a private college in Division III, there are awesome athletic endowments. But you got to go to the big ones, the rich Division IIIs. Okay? So understand, there's really nothing you can do but go see them play. Go see them play, whether it's basketball, track, anything. Go see them play, and you'll be surprised how good 2 and 3 are. You'll be surprised. If you look at the Major League draft, Major League Baseball draft, there are a ton of kids that come out of Division IIIs. There are more Division IIIs in New England than anywhere in the country, pretty much, any states. So there's a lot of opportunities to play. Go see it. They all go to Florida. They all do their summer trips. And no matter what, like football, they all practice all year. So go see them play and get a feel of what it means to play in Division II and what it means to play in Division III. There's no difference. Really no difference. And here you go. This is Coach Lyle. He's a big guy. He puts on a lot of things every time I find stuff. And he's one that really advocates going on. Go see. The NAIA is huge. Those are big colleges out in the Midwest. They're big into that, NAIAs. But look at stuff. It's amazing where everybody's come from. Okay, there are a ton of colleges. Go see them. Your eyes will open when you see this. The amount of athleticism out there at a relatively cheaper price than some of the other ones. All right. Next thing, what you can afford. This is a big thing. The kid sitting near you today has no idea about money. They have no idea what it will be to go to a college and sign up for, I'm going to call it a cheap college, for $35,000 a year. So after 4 years, you're sitting on a $125,000 loan that you got to pay back. They don't have any clue what that means. And if you go to a bigger private college, you're going to end up paying $85,000 a year. And do the math with that. That's almost $500,000 you're paying. Columbia University is the #1 college in the country for cost right now. It's $94,000 a year. That's just the tuition. So that, you come out with a $500,000 loan, you can't work at McDonald's and pay that off. It's going to take you years. But you can't, they don't understand that burden. Parents do. So you really need to look at that. You need to sit down with your child when you start this process and see if it works financially. Because that is a huge, huge factor. That cost. Okay? And whether you go to Division I, Division II, Division III of JUCO, though JUCOs are a huge, huge plus. I know as a coach at Massasoit, go there a year, it's $4,800. And they have basketball, they have track, golf, baseball. And for $4,800, you need the first 2 years done. And if you get a 3.0 for those 2 years, you can go to any state school for the same price. And that goes for any JUCO in the state of Massachusetts. So obviously the bang for the buck, that's pretty good. Pretty good. You know, so you can transfer to go to UMass Amherst for $4,800 a year. Now, that's pretty good. So, but you really need to sit down. That's one of the huge factors with kids, especially if you're playing some type of travel ball somewhere along the line, whether it's basketball or junior hockey or baseball. You've already put out a lot of money to boost their athleticism. Pretty much, I hate to tell you this, but pretty much money that you're not going to get back. Because it's not going to equate. The money you're going to spend is going to be, you know, you probably could have saved it, put it in the money market, make a little more money, pay a tuition. Money. Is it out there? How can I get to them? I went over how much it costs, how scholarships work at 1, 2, and 3. So where can I get some? Well, very simple. There's a lot of money out there. There's a ton of grants. There's a ton of scholarships. Every guidance office has a list of scholarships that they offer. You need to apply to every single one. All it is a letter. It's a form that you can make up, just change the heading and send it. Any money you get is going to be helpful. Any money. Because when you're going to pay $7,000 for books that you're going to basically sit on in your dorm room, hello, you need them. But they'll help. If your grandfather or a parent is in a fraternity, like the Masons, the Elks, they give out scholarships. Any kind of group that has a society has scholarships. Look into that. You may have a relative who just applied for it. I know my father-in-law was served on the USS New Jersey, and they had a scholarship. My daughter applied and we got it through that. You know, $10,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Okay, but it's out there. Apply. You can go online now. Scholarships. You put the state in. Boom. Shows you all of them. Put in for it. They're free. Boom. Just put them in. If you put 50 letters in, you get back 10, that's still 10 that you didn't have. And that's still money that you don't have to put up. So look at that. That's huge. It's out there. You just got to go look at it. You got to turn over some rocks. That is a huge thing because there is some money out there because everybody doesn't have your money tree. Cost of study is a huge thing. It's what you want to go to college for. Granted, we all go to college, have all done it. If you're gone, you go your first year, you know, you're going to be a doctor, and then next thing you know, after the first year, you're like, I'm going to be a school teacher. And that's how it goes, everybody does that. But you want to make sure that whatever you go, you're committed to. It doesn't do you any good to go to a school to play field hockey and spend $65,000 to go there that year, and yet they don't have your major. That's a waste of time and money. Waste of time and money. Find somewhere that has a major. Now I understand, 17, 15, 16, 17 years old, it's tough to understand what you want to do with your life. Not everybody knows at that age, this is where I'm going to go, and this is the path, and I'm going to stay on that path my whole life. It doesn't work that way. But you get into a school for its academics. That's the key. If you're undecided, there are a ton of liberal arts schools that you can play sports for the first 2 years and then transfer out. Go to a JUCO. Get all those mandatory courses out at a low price and transfer. It doesn't do you any good to go to those big high-end schools, and then after a year or two, you're like, it doesn't have what I want. So you're going to get a liberal arts degree and pay all that money when you could have gone to a cheaper school, still play your sport, and get a great education. Because most educations now, you need your master's. So your your bachelor's is kind of like the old associates. So you're going to spend $250,000 to get your bachelor's, then you have to get a master's in anyway. And when it comes time, you're not going to say, well, I got my bachelor's in, I'll use it because it's right there. So Bridgewater, when you go, hey, I got my master's at Harvard, you're not going to wave the Bridgewater flag, you're going to wave that Harvard flag. So understand how that works. Your course of study. Now, your grades. This is probably one of the most important things you're going to see today. Your grades are the #1 reason you will or will not get into a college university. Your grades. Grades, not your athletic decides where you go. Nothing's more disheartening than having somebody recruit you, or you start the recruiting process and then you ask for they ask for a transcript and you show it to you, and either the person doesn't call you back or they just basically say, kid, you can't get in here. Schools are getting more and more tougher to get in. So your grades, try to get those up. Instead of playing a year of whatever, maybe get a tutor. Put some money aside and get a tutor. Get those grades up. Take some AP courses. Those are heavily weighted. Those are good. But you got to get your grades up. I had a kid that I was helping get into a school. Brilliant kid out of Brooklyn. Goes to the gifted school there for engineering in high school, and he wanted to go to MIT. Called the coach. Coach was interested. Saw a video of him. Everything was all set. Coach said, yeah, Jim, he's in. Great. He said, send me his transcripts. He says, but we need his high school transcripts and his 7th and 8th grade transcripts. Had the parent call, send him over. He called me up the next day, says, I cannot get him in. I said, why not? He says he had an A- in 7th grade in advanced physics. Granted, it's MIT, probably the best, engineering school in the country. But that's how far they go back on those academic schools like MIT. 7th grade, you got an A-, and they won't let them in school. Needless to say, I was furious, but hey, that's the way it goes. There's nothing you can, he was like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to get him in. That's their rules, their academic rules. So, obviously there's a lot easier schools to get into, but that's just a story that your grades matter. They don't want to hear that, I took this semester off, so to speak. It was COVID and we were online, it was remote, and I didn't do my work. I had one just this year, same thing. Was all set up to go to Babson, couldn't get in because he took a semester off in remote. Couldn't get in because he had C-. Sorry, way it goes. So your grades are the number one reason you will or will not get into school. So take the time, do the work. If you need a tutor, get a tutor, and get it. This is a little chart where number of college universities recruit you on your core GPA. All right, you got a 4.0, you're probably going to get into 94% of your schools. That's a good little, obviously MIT isn't in that list, but, and as you go down, your 2.5, you're down to less than 20%. 20%, you don't have many choices at that level. Okay? So take a good look at that. You want to take a picture of it, you can, but that's pretty good numbers. As your grades go up, the more doors that open up. So if you're a student in here and your grades are kind of washy, and your parents are always on you, they didn't lie. They didn't lie. There's nothing you can do to catch them up. Once your grades are in, that's it. Can't go to college, you go, hey, Harvard. I'll do better. I didn't really work hard in high school. They're not taught. So understand how that works. But that was a baseball, softball. Time right now is very valuable to you as an student athlete. Your window is closing. We have any seniors here? Your window's almost shut. Almost shut. You should have been signed, sealed, delivered by the summer. Okay? Juniors, your window is almost closed. You better get it done by the summer. Don't wait. The longer you wait, tougher it is to get in. They only have so many slots, especially if you want to play a sport. And juniors, sophomores, boy, sooner the better. I do these talks with 7th, 8th graders. The sooner you know about it, the more you can start planning. Okay? Because there is planning, but you're not rushed. You're not rushed. And that's the key. You don't want to rush. You don't want to be this weekend, you're going to go visit Colgate in upstate New York. And I'm just using schools. The following weekend, you're zipping over you're spending your whole weekend just zipping over everywhere while you're trying to play a sport in high school. You can't do that. Okay? You've got to go. You've got to do your homework on this, and it takes time. And I'm going to go over that, how to do that. But time is not your friend here. Time is definitely not your friend. Don't wait till the last minute. Earlier the better. So if you know anybody who has young people, freshmen, even 8th graders who want to get involved, hey, get involved. Get involved early. This way you can go watch a game. And you can get a feel of what it's like. Colleges. How to choose? Well, you got to go to guidance. And you don't know how I stole this one out of my guidance. This is the book. This is the Bible. Every guidance department has this. It's the book of majors. In this lists every college and every major in the country. So what you find what you want to do with your life, You grab this book. Now, guidance doesn't let this out of the guidance department, so like I said, I had a little trouble stealing this one out. But this is it. It goes by states, it goes by major. You can find it. If it's a major, boom, it's in here. So you got to find what you want to do. And this book will get you where you want to go. This will start it off. Once you get this, usually you have a good indication of what's going to happen and where you want to go. That's where it starts to get a little funky. Okay? If that's the book that you want to get it started. You want to identify it early, the better. Parents got involved with the decision. Most of the kids want to be something that's maybe not attainable, or they're not going to get a job. You know, everybody wants to be a phys ed teacher, but there's no jobs. I know you're looking at one. No jobs. Always school over sport. Don't go to school to play a sport. You're only going to waste your money. Okay? Because you're going to end up failing out. You're going to end up with that $250,000 big acorn that you got to pay off. You need to go see them play. Whatever the sport is, go see them play. If you look at a school, you like that school, go see it play. You're going to be amazed at what you see. Or you're going to be shocked at, geez, I think I'm better than that. Okay? You're going to see if you fit in to that school. Okay? You've got to go see it. Go to the campus. See if you fit in with the campus. You'll be surprised. I know it happened to me. My daughter went to a school that she was heavily recruited to. She wasn't on that campus 5 minutes, and she's like, I'm out of here. I don't want to go here. I don't see myself here. You turn around and walk away. You got to be there 4 years. You're going to live there. It's going to be your life. You'll probably meet a wife or a husband there. That's how it works in college. You're going to meet lifelong friends, roommates that you never even knew. You've got to be comfortable. It can't be hell. That's not fun. So you go see them play. Now, when you get involved with your parents, and you're looking at the schools that offer your major that you're looking at, you have to have a sit down with mom and dad and find out where you want to go. And what I mean by that is, do you want to stay close to home? Are you a homebody? Do you want to commute? Do you want to be an hour away? Do you want to be 2 hours away? Do you want to be a train ride away? Do you want to be a plane ride away? That all comes into it. That's huge. There's a lot of pluses and minuses to all of that. Some kids have never been away from home a lot. So you're going to have that homesickness thing. You don't want to be playing flights back and forth every weekend. Or if you're elderly or you have elderly parents, do you have, you know, if something happens and someone passes, can they get there in time? All that plays into effect here because of what you want to do, where you want to go. If you stay local within an hour, 2 hours away, hey, your parents can go watch you play. That's huge. That's big. It's nice to have parents come watch you play every time. Because they always take you out to dinner after you get a big meal for free. I know, I did it for 4 years. And they usually take 4 or 5 of their friends. But they're very appreciative that you're there all the time. You've had parental support all the time. You go play in, you know, you go play softball down in South Carolina, mom and dad may go once or twice and that's it. But maybe you want that. Maybe they want that. It's a two-way street. If you're local, you can come home. If not, boom. If you're in California, they may go once. So you got to look and you got to sit down and decide what kind of kid you are. What do you want to do? You want to stay closer to home? Do you want to how far do you want to go away? Because that matters. That matters where you're going to pick. And you can look at that in that book, and it'll show you. You pick the states where you want to be close. I want to stay in New England, or at least in New York. And you'll look at that, and you just look at your majors, and it'll list every college in those states that have your major. And those are the ones you highlight. Okay? So that's how that works. School over sport, go see them play. Got to do your roster homework. What does that mean? Look at the roster of the sport you want to play. Now, some sports, if you're a track, that's pretty much open. They take everybody. We have, I know you have baseball, sport, softball, basketball. You got to do your homework. What that means, you got to look at the roster of the school you want to play at. If they're loaded with the sophomores and freshmen, and you're coming in next year, guess what? You're going to sit the bench. You may not make it. You're going to sit the bench. If they're loaded with juniors and seniors, you're like, hey, I don't want you to sit the bench 1 year, and I'm going to jump in. If you're a pitcher, you're going to look at their pitching staff. What's it look like? Loaded with high-end kids? Sophomores, juniors and seniors? Hey, I'm going to get a chance. Loaded with freshmen and sophomores, you're like, it's going to be a while. So do your roster homework. Do your roster homework. Nobody wants to go and sit the bench. Because if you're here, you don't sit the bench here in West Bridgewater or other schools you're at. You play. Colleges are eye-opener. Because a lot of times you go there and all of a sudden, you're sitting most of the time and you're like, ooh, I'm not used to this. This isn't cool. I busted my butt to be here. I go to all the practices and practices 3 hours a day, and I just sit and watch. And it's not like high school when you get a lead, they put everybody in. Oh, no. College, if it's baseball, softball, the 9 play. Okay? The 9 play. So you're going to look at that and see if you fit into that roster. If you don't, hey, don't go there. You're only going to waste your time. You're going to work your butt off to get on that team to sit on a bench. And in baseball, softball, you end up chasing foul balls, being a squirrel. It's not good. Okay? You don't want to be that person. You want to play. And you don't mind playing the first year. Now you go to Division II, even sometimes Division III, you may get redshirted. What does that mean? Redshirted means you're on the team, but you don't play. You practice all the time. Oh, but you don't travel either. You don't go to Florida. You don't do one of the trips. That's it. You're like, damn, this ain't fun. I was a starter in high school. Now, because I'm redshirted, I gotta do everybody's laundry. That's not fun. I didn't come here. I'm not paying $85,000 a year to do people's laundry. So you gotta look at that. Okay? Ask. Hey, you redshirt people? What's your roster like? So you do your homework. Do your homework. The visit. The visit's important. You don't have to announce yourself. You don't even have to get an official visit. Just show up on campus. Do not go on vacation. Do not go on summertime. Because the campus isn't buzzing. You're not going to get a good feeling. You're going to get a good feel like if you go like right now. And you're going to see the kids walking around and what they're doing. And you're going to see if you fit in there. So you want to visit. Is this where you want to be? Can you see yourself living there for the next 4 years? That's huge. To visit. And once you get the visit done and you like that, well, you take the next step. The next step is taking the athletic questionnaire, recruit me questionnaire. It's on every website. If you're going to sit by your mailbox and wait for the college to call you, better get a comfortable chair because it's not happening. It's not happening. They don't work that way anymore. You have to go to them. And all you need to do is you go on their website, everybody has it, and on that it says recruit me or official questionnaire. It's not a test. All it is just who you are, and usually they'll call you back pretty quickly, okay? And that starts the process right then and there. I do have some handouts on Division 2 and 3 recruiting violations that you need to be aware of, especially if you're an underclassman, because there are rules and regulations that colleges have to abide by. So understand that. I will give them to you if you need it. I got some here on the way out. Also, make aware of it about text messaging and stuff like that, because they can text you, how many times, all that good stuff. Sometimes some colleges will overdo that, and you don't want to put yourself in jeopardy with eligibility because they recruited you illegally or whatever the case may be, or violated calls. They can only call you once a week if you're underclassman, and they have to write all that down. But just be careful of that. I'll give you all that information. Once you fill out the questionnaire and you got that ball rolling, they're going to ask you, or you can ask for a visit, official visit, and you go in and you meet the coach, and you see his or her facility, and you get the whole thing. This isn't the SEC, so you're not going to get a car out of it or anything like that. If you do, don't accept it. But you can ask for an overnight stay, okay? Usually once you get the overnight stay, the coach is interested in you, and he wants you to be comfortable with the campus. Usually show up on a Friday night. They'll put you with a senior member of that sports team, and that senior member will take care of you that day, that night. Will take you to the cafeteria, show you how great the food is. And cafeteria food in colleges is totally different from what I like. I mean, those things are restaurants right now. But it's incredible, and then they'll take you out to whatever's going on that evening, show you the campus life. And then the next day they usually have a practice or something that you can watch and see what it's like. Okay? But the overnight visit is going to get you a feel of what that campus life is about. Campus life is fun. Campus life also can ruin your college education, because too much campus life will affect that. So understand how it works, okay? But you got to get a feel of it, because that's what it's about. That group, if you make that team, is going to be your family for 4 years. 4 years as a family. The relationships you make with those people are going to be nothing like you've ever had in your life. Why? Because playing sports in college is a job. You're going to spend more time practicing than you've ever done in your life. But yet you have to balance schoolwork and college life. If you're a softball player, baseball player, I can guarantee you, you're going to swing probably in the mornings at 5 a.m. You'll have practice in the mornings, starting at 7, plus practice in the afternoon. Then you got to go to school during the day, and you have mandatory study hall at night. So you better learn time management pretty quick. We were talking about that before, Jim. Time management is the #1 thing you're going to need to know. Time management. There are no off times in college. You don't have the season off like you have in high school that, oh, Thanksgiving's here. No more football. All right, we're done. I don't have to worry about it till August. No, 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 no. The next day you're in the weight room and it's 24/7. Okay? Basketball, same way. You're playing all year. Softball, baseball, same thing. All year. You can't play 2 sports in college. Not anymore. It's not that way. So you really got to work at that. Understand. A lot of kids play first year and go, this ain't for me. I'm going to work on my grades. Hey, cool. So understand how that works. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask people. Your grades. SATs and SATs and the ACTs, they used to take those. They don't take them anymore. I mean, the colleges really don't accept them. They'll take them, but they don't really admit on those. They've changed. They're more going by GPA and level of study. That's what they really look at, because kids don't test well. All those mandatory MCAS testing we take, it's just, they're going now on GPA and your cost of study. So if you're in an AP class, honors class, that all carries extra weight. If you're getting good grades in there, bingo. You're going to get into some good schools, because that's what they're going to go for. But all schools now call for GPA and levels of study. So you might want to look at it if you're an underclassman. Okay? Look at that and say, hey, maybe I need to up my grade. I won't take that coloring course next semester. I'm going to take an algebra. It's going to help you. If you're on IP or 504, there are a ton of colleges now that are taking those, and they offer services. When I coached at Curry, we were one of only two in the East Coast that offered special ed kids a chance at college, because we had services. Well, all the schools now are doing it. So don't let that hinder you. Find the right school. Okay, but be upfront with them, tell them you need the services, and they get it. There are always tons of tutors involved. If you're on the athletic team and you're having trouble, you need to go to your coach. You don't have mom or dad call. You go to your coach and say, hey, I'm having trouble in algebra. Okay, they'll get you a tutor. They'll get you a tutor. And you'll have to go, obviously, but they'll get you a tutor. Division I teams travel all over the country with tutors. On their planes, hotels, they have tutors. My daughter played at Brandeis softball for 4 years when they used to go to Florida for spring training. Every day, 3 hours, mandatory study. You're in Florida. You played 2 games, and that doesn't mean by sitting at the pool study. No, it's in your room, study hall, 3 hours, every day while you're in Florida. So it's important. Okay, it's important. But if you're falling behind, you've got to ask. Okay, if you're a 504 or IEP person, don't dismiss that. Get all the services you can. They're there. They don't really care. I shouldn't say this, but they really don't care if you fail out because they've got your money. Okay, they're not going to chase you down. Professors aren't going to be like, hey, you haven't shown up. What's going on? No, it's not high school. They're not going to call your house, wonder how you're feeling. You don't show up, you miss 3 days, boom, they cut you from the class. They got their money, and they got a lot of it, so they don't care. A video. The questionnaire is going to ask you for a video. And this is where a lot of people make mistakes. Of all the colleges I worked at, I was in charge of the videos, looking at them, seeing what guys you want to recruit. The video that you make, it's just the skills. We don't need a huge hour-and-a-half video of, your Little League days, hitting a home run. It doesn't matter, pictures of you in your first uniform, or shooting your first free throw. It doesn't matter, okay? It's a video. It's not a highlight film. We don't need to see only your home runs or only your three-point shots. We don't need, okay? We don't need to hear mommy yelling in the background, run, Joey, run! It's unbelievable the stuff that you see when you get videos, okay? I get pictures of kids in Florida, at Disney World. Why? It doesn't. Just shut them off. Not a mini-series, okay? Keep it short. Valuable time. Coaches are going to look at it. When I look at it, I watch you swing twice, 2, 3 times. I can know right away if you can hit. If you're a pitcher, I'll watch you throw 2 or 3 times to tell right away if you can pitch it. If you can't, no thanks, we're not interested. If you can, put them off to this side. Now we'll start the recruitment process. That's in your questionnaire. There's a little link you can put on. It's very simple. Okay? We don't need the Steven Spielberg stuff, okay, with special effects and music. I tell you, I get one with music, I just order one. I got one that had rap songs and all that. It doesn't do it. I just threw it away. Next, just deleted it. Not put up with that. Don't need to that. We're not into that. So keep it as simple as possible. I'll tell you how to do it. 1 to 2 minutes long, that's it. You have some game highlights. Those are okay, but I know if you're a baseball or softball player, you're not putting your strikeouts on there, are you? No. If you're a pitcher, you're not putting in that guy that just took you out deep, right? If you're a basketball player, you're not showing your air balls, right? Or the bricks that you throw up. No, you're not showing them. So 1 to 2 minutes long. And there's skills, okay? Skills. If you're a hitter, a couple of swings, a couple of different angles. Pitcher, angle from the side, angle from back. That's it. 3-4 pitches. Or if you got some curveballs or whatever, that's it. So you know. Oops, so a little dribbling, right? A little shooting, maybe a free throw. That's it. You start it off by you standing there. Hi, I'm Joe Smith. I'm a sophomore at West Bridgewater High School. I play second base and shortstop. That's it. Done. And let's go. Boom. That's all you need. Make it quick. Highlights. Okay? We don't need to see your home run, your grand slam that you won the game when you were 11 years old. It doesn't matter. So keep that. Coach's time is extremely valuable. So we're not going to spend time watching about your vacation at Disney World. Okay? You ride in teacups in your baseball uniform. It just doesn't cut it for us. So just understand, keep it really small. It doesn't, you don't have to hire anybody. You can do it right on your phone. Okay? Just YouTube it or put it in a thing and send it off. And just the skills, and trust me, they'll get back to you if they see it. Because whether you even hit the ball or not, I can tell if you can swing or not. Okay? I also can tell if you can throw or not. So, I don't care if you get hit. I'm just watching you swing. I know I can work with you. Okay, so, I mean, we get one guy's running, and, you know, you see the guy run from home to first, and then all of a sudden, you know, the next pitcher you see, and it's not inside, but it's a stopwatch, and the stopwatch is incredible speed. You're like, how do I know that just happened? You see what I'm saying? You can rig it. It's like a radar gun. If you throw, you know, you see the guy throw, and then the next picture you see, the radar gun says 92. And you're like, yeah, hold the radar gun up, if you use a radar gun, have the person throw, have the camera here so you can see the throw and the radar gun. Then you go, okay, that's legit 92. But it's so easy to fudge things that, you know, you don't want to go make a visit and then the guy realizes that you're off over. So keep the video short, keep it relevant, and you'll get, you know, they'll look at it. Once they like it, they'll get in touch with you. They will get in touch with you. Anybody have any questions on videos? No? I'm sure. And yeah, don't TikTok. TikTok doesn't work. Speaking of TikTok, do yourself a favor, clean up your social media. Clean up your social media. This age group is going to, this is your albatross. Because this is going to carry with you for the rest of your life. The stuff that kids are posting on Facebook, Instagram, I don't know how all that stuff goes. I don't know how to do Facebook, that's why my daughter's going to help me with that. But they're going to look at that. They're going to look at that. So if they see you doing stuff that's nefarious, they're going to go, this ain't the kind of kid we want on our program. They're investing in you, their time. Got to understand, these college coaches aren't high school coaches. If they don't win, they get fired. So it's win. It's win. They're not there to make friends. They need to win. And that's how they save their job. It's not like high school where, hey, we had a great year with 20, but hey, we had a great time every month, we had a good time. No. They need to win. They play to win. Clean up all that other stuff. Get rid of it, do whatever you do, or just really watch what you put on there. Really watch what you put on there. because it can come and bite you. Come back and bite you, big time. Because they're looking for good citizens. Okay? So, for that crap. Playing ball. Obviously, your school team is important. That's where you got to get all your playing time and your experience. Fall teams. I know there are a ton of fall teams with softball now and baseball. Those are all good. Take part in that. I'm big into being an athlete. So if you play other sports, that carries a lot of weight with colleges. All right, they don't like guys who just specialize. When I say guys and girls also, they want to look for athletes because they're gonna train you a whole different way than you've never been trained before. Summer teams, I'll go over on that. Tryouts, different tryouts you're going to get involved in. Bay State games is probably one of the best ones around. Go to your guidance. All the applications are out now. They have every sport you can imagine. Bay State games, I think it's $100 to play. It's unbelievable. I was just telling Mrs. Hamill about a student I had when I coached Bay State games, baseball, came to West Bridgewater and ended up getting drafted. So that's a phenomenal opportunity. It takes the best athletes in the state at a fraction of the cost. And it's tons and tons of colleges there. Tons. Okay? So you really got an opportunity with the Bay State games to take advantage of that. Camps. Some of these are probably getting letters from colleges saying, hey, we'd like you to come to our camp here at Dartmouth College. For $250, you can come in and on this Saturday for 3 hours, and we're going to work you out, and we want to put eyes on you. Those are money makers. We run them, when I was a college coach, we run them, and that pays our Florida trip. 99% of those kids, we have no interest in them. They buy those from the MIAA, the addresses, from your summer team, from your AAU team. They sell the addresses to these schools, and they use them and send out the letters. My basketball team in Diamond just got a stack this big from about 5 different colleges for basketball players. Now, you probably know Diamond. We have any kids that can play in college? But they got their letters and they wanted $325 to come up there and show their gig. Really? Are you kidding me? So you've got to be really careful with that. If they really want you, they'll call you or send you a letter and say, please come up to our camp for free. And they'll put your eyes on it. Free. Now, when you get those letters, you got to look at it. If you get a letter from Dartmouth College and you got a 2.5, chances are you couldn't cut Dartmouth's grass. Why spend $350 to go try out up there when you know you can't get in academically? It's pretty common sense. So don't get crazy because the letters are starting to come in. Because now this is the time they get ready for the summer to get kids in so they can get their money for the next spring's trip. So just be careful. Do your homework with the camps. They're a mailing list. You're going to get them from big colleges like, whoa, how'd they get my name? I can't believe it. UCLA wants me. UCLA may come up to West Bridgewater to see. Especially if you play JV in Akron. But you play on an AAU team that sold your addresses. American Legion sells their addresses. They get them. Okay? They get them. So just when you get them, do your homework on it. Make sure the school that's offering it fits in your educational plans. If it doesn't, You want to put it up on the wall and say, you know, tell your kids later in 20 years, and look, Notre Dame won. That's fine. But realistically, you're just throwing your money away. Okay? You're just throwing your money away on those camps. So just really look at them. The best ones are usually the local camps. Little local colleges have them. I know when I was coaching Massachusetts, we used to run a baseball camp. Recruit. It was free. Free. Because we want kids to come in and play. We didn't make them play. Babson, we made a ton of money. Paid for a lot of good. College camps, obviously mass mailings. Is it cost effective? Realistic chance of playing there? And it's used as a fundraiser for the program, just exactly what I just went over. But just take it for face value. The last thing is, now, baseball is different, basketball's different, and softball's all different in the way they recruit in the summer, okay? Baseball does a little AAU recruiting, very little. So you can spend a ton of money on AAU. You're not really going to get seen in, okay? For some reason, well, I know the reasons. They're not big. Colleges aren't big on going to AAUs because it's so watered down, it's so big, there's really not much to see there. High schools is pretty, you can tell. Everything's in the newspaper. You can tell who the studs are. So it makes it real easy. Softball, for some reason, AAU runs it. That's where all colleges go. I don't know why, but they go to AAU games to recruit. High school, gets a little, but not a lot. And I learned that through my daughter, because her high school did nothing, and AAU did it all. I mean, that's where it all is. Basketball, it's 50-50, okay? If you got a good coach, he's going to help you out. You got a good AAU coach, he'll help you out too. So it's a 50-50 thing with you. But it's amazing how baseball, it's mostly high school American Legion, not so much AAU. Softball, it's AAU, not so much to high school. And basketball is 50-50. So you got to do your homework there. Showcases, you probably got those. Showcases, come to our showcase. Perfect games, all that good stuff. For $850, we're going to give you a hat and t-shirt, and you get to work out. Whoa. Wow, thanks. Under Armour. Yeah, $1,000 for the weekend. You get to come in. And they list all the colleges that are going to be there. LSU, and it just goes on and on. Vanderbilt, and they list it. Because they usually have them over here way ahead. Yeah, they're all in. Because I used to watch them because of scouting. And when the Division III kids basically come up, the high school kids, those guys go to lunch. They're gone. There's very Division III guys, none, very little Division II. Division I guys, they know who they're there for. And they go. And then you go as a high school kid, you paid $850, you got your shirt and hat, you took your picture with your parents, and when it's your time to hit, you're probably facing some kid from Georgia who's throwing, left-handed, you're left-handed batter, and he's throwing 97. Whoa, that's fun. Yeah, you're going to excel there. If you haven't seen 97, not even on the mass pipe getting it. So, you're really going to look at that. Camps, showcases, big money. There are some good showcases on. I don't know much about basketball showcase. A lot of times they run with the AAU programs. I know softball does. You can spend, I think, an extra couple $100, I think, if they run a showcase at the beginning. And colleges will go to it. Those aren't bad. My daughter played in some of those. Those are pretty good. Baseball does them too. AAU does them too. I don't know so much about the basketball. They do them. Those aren't bad because it's usually the local colleges. But if you're playing in Pennsylvania and you don't want to go to any Pennsylvania schools, don't go to the showcase, because there's not going to be schools that you want to go to there. Do your homework on the schools. There's a couple of good ones. Obviously cost effective. What schools are going to be there? Now, School's gonna be there. They're gonna list all the biggies, because that's what brings the kids in. That's what pays the bills. But what they do is, they're not guaranteed to be there. They call us up and go, hey, Jim, we're running a showcase at Bentley. You think you want to go? Yeah, sure. What day is it? July 12th. All right, put me down. I may be there. And they'll put you on the brochure as, whatever, passion. And you don't show up. They're not paying this, or they're having someone else better do it. We recruit somebody else. So just be careful of those. Do your homework. You got to do your homework. You can't just be throwing money out. Because it will, there you go. You got to be realistic with yourself, like the Perfect Games, the Honorama. Those are all big time money, big time showcases. Okay? I'm sure, have you ever been in a showcase basketball? No? I'm sure if you went there, you'd be like, oh my God, I don't know my head. You guys hanging on the ribbon as freshmen. That's the way it is. And it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. That money dictates the numbers. Okay? They don't travel the country if they're not making tons of money. Putting up all their workers in hotels, feeding them. It's a money game. Numbers, money. So just do your homework with that, because you can get really, really, poor quick with that. Your summer ball stuff, again, cost effective. There's a lot of good programs out there, AAU-wise, that range from, $1,000 a year to $4,000 to $5,000 a year. There's some teams that you need passport to play because you're traveling every weekend. That comes out of your pocket. That doesn't come out of your AAU money that you pay. And you got to put up the hotel and your food. And that $4,000 a year for that AAU program just cost you $12,000 for the year. And now, what'd you get out of it? Well, yeah, you blew every single weekend traveling all over, playing in every godforsaken hellhole. Because if you ever played any AAU baseball or basketball or softball, every time you go, there's 5 fields or 6 fields there. It's always the hottest weekend of the year, and there's not one tree to be found. And it's just roast city. It looks like Homelessville because there's tents everywhere. Everybody's just craving for shade. Okay? Am I lying? I've been there. Trust me. It's not fun. You're not going to get any better by playing 6 games in a weekend. You got to look at that. As an athlete, do you really need to play 5 games a weekend? Major league athletes, baseball players, who are in the best shape of their lives, don't play 5 games in a weekend. How are you supposed to highlight yourself 5 games in a row? How? You gotta look at that. Are you maximizing your dollars? How many basketball games can you play in a day? 1. If you go all out, because the second game you're going to be dragging. It's common sense. If you're a pitcher, how are you going to do all that? You're not your maximum. So do your homework with that summer ball stuff. You don't need to travel the world. Okay? You're not putting stickers on your luggage anymore. Those are the old days. Okay? You're not getting frequent flying miles. Just play. You need innings. You need games, reps. That's it. Use that. Yeah, you want to hone your skills, and you can. You don't have to play 5-6 games a weekend. That ain't honing your skills. You're going to get hurt. When you get hurt, nobody wants you. So be careful of that. Do your homework. There are a lot of great programs out there. A lot of them that really cater to AAU kids playing the game. And a lot of ones that are just making a ton of money. So just watch that. Okay, but again, you got to do your homework. And you can't believe the hype. Don't, we get 37 uniforms. And we have practice uniforms just for Tuesday. And then you're paying for that. paying for that. So understand how that works. Summer ball, number one in cost. What's it cost to play baseball here or softball?
For a season?
Yeah.
$200 for the year.
$200.
For the year.
For the year.
You can play more than one.
For the year. Yeah. So you can play football, basketball, and baseball for $200. Hey, you can't even get a tryout for that, can you? So be careful of that. Baseball, softball, it's the number one cost. It's the number one cost. And what do you really want out of it? You want innings if you're a pitcher, and you want at-bats. You just want to get better. The softball obviously is a necessary evil because you want to get recruited. It's totally different. We already went there, softball priority, baseball not so much. Summer ball, do your homework. Don't get caught up in the hype. There are a lot of things, hey, we won 13 tournaments. We won the Georgia Invitational. That doesn't mean anything. College coaches don't care. Okay, how many trophies you got? They don't want to see your trophies. They don't want to see your medals. They don't care if you're you're the MVP of the Altoona, Pennsylvania softball invitational. They don't care. Okay, they're going to look at your skills. Can you play for them to be fit to the program? There are two types: competitive and developmental. Depending on where you are, if trophies mean a lot to you, go for it. Those are the ones that you may not play because they're going to play the best 5 or 9, and you're going to sit the bench and play squirrel, but you'll get your trophy at the end, big one. Or it's a development. Are you getting what you need out of summer ball? Are you becoming better? Are you better at the end of the year than you were at the beginning? That's what it's all about. And is it cost effective to be that? Did the price I pay, was it cost effective to be, did I get that much better? Or because I played 63 games in 6 weeks, did I really get better, or did I just get so fatigued I just went through the motions? Look at that. That's on you. Local teams versus regionals. Those regionals, like I said, you need a passport. You're always flying. That's usually it's not in the cost of the team. You have to pay for that, unless you want to send your 15-year-old daughter on a plane by yourself to go to Austin, Texas, to spend the weekend with her teammates. Tournaments. Coaches. Know who the coaches are, those summer teams. That is huge. That is so big. There are a lot of charlatans out there. AAU has become the home of daddy ball because they don't want to pay their coaches, so daddy becomes involved. I played in high school back in 1964, so yeah, I can coach this. Just know who the coaches are. And are they going to help your son or daughter get better? What's their goal? How are they going to make your son or daughter better? What are you going to do for me? This is my son's weaknesses or daughter's weakness. How are you going to make them better? I'm paying you this much money. How? Okay? It's unbelievable what's out there. Unbelievable. Try to stay away from daddy ball. Okay? It's hard to do because there's not many teams out there. Not many organizations out there that their coaches are college coaches or they're high school coaches with no kids involved. Because if you're a pitcher, especially a softball pitcher, because I ran into this with my daughter, went to so many tryouts, they want her. Oh yeah, she can play there. Great. You have a coach? Yeah. You have a daughter playing here? Oh yeah, my daughter. Who's your daughter? Well, she's the other pitcher. Not interested. Thank you very much. Turn around, walk out. I'm not playing that game. Not going to play. Well, my daughter's a shortstop, and you're a shortstop, so you're not going to play. Because my daughter, the coach's daughter's got to play shortstop, because I got to get her seen. So you're going to end up playing scrap games, but you're paying the same amount of that. So you got to do your homework. Okay, do your homework. There's a lot of good guys out there, but there are a lot of bad guys. Okay, so do your homework with coaches, and you'll get more out of it than you realize. this is a quick thing. Just some of the things about college ball in general. I'll just run through it. Social media, great tool. That can really hurt you. Coaches evaluate your body language. They're going to watch you. It's funny, when I scouted 21 years for the Reds. I used to show up at a ball game, especially a high school game, an hour early. Before you came out, I want to see the kid come out of class. I want to see the kid come out in the field. Is he dressed? Or is he just kind of like shirt out of his pants and all that? I used to go into school and ask guidance counselors if he was a high-end player. Can I come in? Back then you could come in. Now you and ask guidance counselors, hey, what do you know about this kid? What kind of kid is he? Because we're paying him. I want to know. But I want to see how he warms up. What's his body language? Everybody's like, I don't want to see you go 4 for 4 and hit 4 homers. Or I want to see you throw a no-hitter. I want to see you, as a pitcher, get lit up and see how you react. I want to see you strike out with the bases loaded, with the game on the line, and how you walk back to the dugout. Do you chuck your helmet, fire your bat, or I expect this to show some emotion, but I want to see you. You just get aggravated, kind of place it down, then turn around and cheer the next guy up to save you. That's what it's about. I don't need to see that guy. That doesn't mean anything. I want to see you take the shot after the last, with the game on the line, want the ball. And want that ball to take the winning shot. Because that's your makeup. Those are the kinds those are the kids that you go to war with as an athletic program, as a college program, as a high school program. You want to go to war with those guys. Not guys who they got the 47 wristbands and the eye black that comes down and they got it all. No, that doesn't mean anything. Can you play? Can you behave in an adult manner that's going to bode well on you and your family? Do you fit into their program? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's funny. I bought life insurance numbers of years ago, about 10 years ago. The guy that came to my house was a kid who played at Old Rochester. And I recognized him, and he goes, hey, I know who you are. You work for the Reds. I said, yeah. He says, you came to see me one day. I said, yeah, I did. He goes, you never heard back from me. I said, nope, you didn't. And he said, but I went to go play down in Florida at Eckett. I was pretty good. I said, yeah, you were. He goes, so what happened? I said, I didn't like it. He said, what do you mean? I said, first of all, you were the only one out there with white spikes. You had so much eye black on, it was a cloudy day. Plus you had the sunglasses on top. And you wore sunglasses on your face and another on top. You had 4 sets of batting gloves coming out of your back pocket. You had wristbands up to your armpits. Nobody sweats that much. He says, you're too much mustard for me. I says, your body language, you threw one over first base, if I can remember, and you just kind of, He's like, yeah. Why didn't you tell me that? I said, it wasn't my job to tell you that. That was your coach's job to tell you that. I said, I just moved on to somebody else. You have to fit what fits your program. Okay, that's what colleges look at. Can you fit in their program? So you want to, kind of fit the mold. Don't put pressure on every swing. Be yourself. Like I said, it's okay if you strike out. College players lift 4 times a week. Practice 6 times in the off season. High school players practice on average 2 times a week they lift or practice. Find a time to improve your own. Weight is so important. It allows freshmen to compete right away. Don't give up if you get in the office. Don't obviously base your decision just on the baseball or softball. Get your work in. You get questions you want to do. The process can be not mind-numbing. It is. What I did with our daughter is very simple. I got a little book, and in the book I wrote everything down that we went to. Every visit. 1 page said Babson. I put a line down the middle, pluses and minuses. Right after we left the college, she would sit in the back and write in the book what she liked about the place, what she didn't like about the place, and then turn the page. The next time on a visit, like the next college, because they're all going to start to blend in. You're going to have a tough time, but you can always go back to the book. And that's what's going to help you make the decision. I didn't like their feel. Or they go to Arizona instead of Florida for a spring trip. Stuff like that. They redshirt freshmen. Whatever. Put it all down. The food was great. But you put it all down, and then when you're done, you get to look at the book and you start looking at it. And then you go, okay, boom, 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 and you get a better idea. You can narrow it down to 2 or 3 that have a lot of pluses that you see yourself fitting in. Otherwise, you're going to go, oh, which one was that? And she used to write down it was rainy, or a lot of kids in the quad, stuff like that. A lot of kids in the student center. Just what she observed at that college. And it helped her make a decision at the end because it was written down, just a little book, and she put all the colleges in there, and that's what helped her make a decision, because they're all going to blend in together. Hey, I don't like the colors. Okay? I don't look good in purple. Okay? So that's Curry. Go, okay, Curry's out. I don't look good in purple. But you can do that. Or Stone's purple too. So you just do that, but it's going to help you make a decision. Because, like I said, it's going to be nice. You just got to go slow with it. You can't rush. Obviously, you got to rush. You're a senior. And if you understand about the financial risk, it is a huge, huge risk that is involved in this. And if you make a bad decision, it's going to cost you. And it's going to cost you dearly. It's not going to cost you, but it's going to cost that person sitting outside you, because that doesn't leave you. And I don't think they're going to forgive student loans all the time anymore. So that will follow you. And you look at the news, people can't buy houses till they're 40, 50 because they're still paying off college loans. And if you're going to a major that needs a master's, that's more. It's a mortgage chain. So, does anybody have any questions? No? I know somebody wrote some questions. If you need help, you can email me questions, or whatever the case. I'm willing to help. I do a ton of videos for kids. I do it right at my place. You can take this down, or I got a business card I can show you. I'm located in Fall River, right at the highway. And I'll help you whatever the process may be. I do have a lot of connections, especially in the baseball world, some softball, through my daughter. But it's you got to take your time to do it right, because you only get one shot at it. And if you make a mistake, it's gonna do.